With Sony launching the new ZV-E1, my first thought was that it was perfect for people making videos similar to the ones we make here. It's fantastic quality with the same sensor inside as the FX6 and A7S Mark III, and yet it's incredibly easy to use and designed to be used in auto modes, which is really important for videos like this. It's not how we make these videos, of course, we're all professional camera operators, but that's obviously not normally the situation. Often, companies making content marketing like this will be made in-house by their marketing team. So they need the camera to be as high quality and professional as possible, but very simple and easy to use for people who aren't necessarily that experienced with video cameras. So the camera by itself is great for that kind of work. But what if you could have a kit which you could pack down into a backpack, and yet when it's set up, it is incredibly fast to work with and change location, with everything fitting into as small a footprint as possible? Well, that's how I ended up with this. I'll talk you through each bit, but first let's hit record on the ZV-E1 and I'll show you what it can do. So you're now looking at the footage from the ZV-1. I'm looking directly at the monitor that's in front of me, and because it's on a monopod, I can just pick it up and take it anywhere that it needs to go. Completely change location, and really quickly, just as quickly as that, we've got an entirely different background, entirely different setup. The light's still attached to the camera, the mic's still attached to the camera. It's tracking autofocus with me as we move, and everything's so fast and easy to work with. This camera is in full auto as well. We've got auto white balance, auto ISO, auto iris. The only thing that isn't in full auto is the shutter speed. So I've got the camera set to shutter priority mode. And so the camera is locked to 1/50 shutter. And the only reason I've done that is just because I found that in full auto mode, it was doing some funny things with the motion and using the shutter speed slightly higher than I would like it. But you can run it in full auto if you want. But in this, the camera is changing the colors and the exposure entirely for me. I don't have to do anything. And so the camera is also in a default picture profile. So this is basically what the camera looks like straight out of the box. I have not tweaked anything at all. It's just using the standard picture profile on the Sony ZV-E1 with picture profile off. And because it's on a monopod, I can take it anywhere. Now, you will be seeing a little bit of wobble in the corners as I move around and just after I put the thing down. But as long as you wait for it to be nice and steady, it's pretty stable and good. And of course, because it's a monopod, you know, it will fall over if someone knocks into it, and there will be that little bit of wobble. But if you wanted to change this into a lightweight tripod, you absolutely could do, and the concept would work perfectly fine as well. But there's just something so freeing about it being on a monopod and just being able to pick it up and entirely change your frame like this. So for making quick social media content or piece to cameras, this is such a fast way to work. So let's go back to the main piece to camera now. So the camera's in the middle, of course, on top of an iFootage Cobra 3 monopod, which is really quite stable. You leave it up to you. Could you see any wobble in that footage that I just showed you? You can, of course, change a tripod if you'd prefer. We then have a L plate on the top so that you can really quickly flip the camera from horizontal to vertical videos, and you can flip the monitor as well. We then have a clamp which is holding two of iFootage's spider crab arms. One is holding the Atomos Shinobi monitor, which gives you a nice, clear and bright view of your shot to see yourself. And with this arm, you can get it as close as possible to the bottom of the lens so that when you look at it, your eye line stays roughly correct down into the lens. Plus the arm means that you can adjust it to be vertical really quickly. We then have this longer support arm, which is holding up an Aperture MT Pro as the light. I'd normally recommend people keep this pretty much straight up with brightness full on, but if you want to adjust the light, it does work with their side as a link app, so you can just really quickly and easily control it and change its brightness and color from your phone. The reason I recommend having it straight up in the air though, is that if it's angled over to one side, it can unbalance the monopod and the entire thing just sort of leans a little bit over to one side. But if you use a tripod rather than a monopod, that wouldn't be an option at all. For audio, we have the Hollyland Lark M1 kit. It's also a duo kit, so you can have two people on camera if you need to, and it's really simple to use. Just clip it on and you're good. So we've put this whole bundle together as a bundle over on ProAV's website. So if you want to buy this for yourself and for your own work, of course, just head over to proav.co.uk. But let me know what you think. I think this is a really quite surprisingly professional and capable setup, considering what it is. It's essentially a vlogging camera from Sony, just with one of their best sensors inside, one of the best sensors even on the market, let alone in a camera like this. And then this setup just makes it so quick and easy to do these kinds of setups for filming yourself. For a simple YouTube, explain a video, holding a product up to the camera lens, anything like that, it is so easy with this setup. But let me know what you think. Would you change any of this? Leave us a comment down below, and if you want to buy this, head over to proav.co.uk. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.